particularly the first name and the surname as well as the ID number is that of Simphiwe Memela, the statement that we're giving you, my lord.
So, sorry, the certificate, which office was it issued at? Nongoma or where?
Nongoma, my lord, precisely. Yes, and just for correction, my lord, on the statement there's only a date of birth, but on the abridged death certificate we've got his full ID number, just to put that into context. But it is the same person.
Marital status on the death certificate?
Never married, my lord.
Never married?
Correct, my lord.
Yes, Mr. Mnisi, you're still asking questions.
Yes, it is the court. The information that is contained in this death certificate.
It's what?
It cannot be contested.
I don't know.
Excuse me, madam.
I don't know what can be contested and what cannot be contested.
Yeah, well, because we don't know whether that certificate is actually belongs to the Simphiwe that we're talking about here.
But you haven't looked at it.
We don't know.
You haven't looked at it, Mr. Mnisi. Have you looked at it?
I can look at it multiple times, my lord, but the fact would remain.
No,
how do I ascertain that indeed it belongs to him?
But
that the information that is contained in that death certificate, that abridged death certificate, relates to the Simphiwe.
Is it contested that Mr. Simphiwe Buthelezi is not dead?
My lord?
Is it contested or disputed that the late, let me not say the late, the gentleman called Mr. Simphiwe Buthelezi is not dead?
No, certainly not, my lord.
He's not dead.
What I'm saying is that is not contested.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Those are instructions that are coming from accused number 3.
Not contested?
Yes.
So, but the death certificate, you said could be of some other person.
No, I'm not saying that, madam. What I'm saying is we are neutral. We can neither accept nor dispute that information that is contained there. For us to say we accept that information, we need to ascertain that indeed the Simphiwe that has been referred all along here is the same Simphiwe, body and limb, posthumously, that is also referred in that abridged death certificate.
Can I have it? It must be handed in, this certificate. You'll get a copy, a certified copy. It's in the docket, by the way.
It's in the docket, man.
So, yeah, it's a court document now. Can you mark it, Mr. Baloyi, with your partner there, because it has been disputed that the contents of that death certificate cannot be admitted or are not admitted.
So I want to hear your thoughts on this death certificate situation. The state is saying this is Simphiwe Memela's death certificate. We still don't know who Simphiwe Memela is, but he's featured several times in the previous videos, and nobody has called Gininda to order for that. So you know what? Mnisi says, well, the fact that he is dead, has passed away, is not contested. What is contested is that paper that you're holding there, that death certificate, that the defense can neither accept nor dispute. They are neutral. What are your thoughts? I definitely want to hear from you with regards to this portion. Of course, you already know Gininda's going to vow by this document. And, my lord finds it absolutely hilarious, this situation that we have found ourselves in. Will there be a resolution? Let's go ahead and listen on.
The exhibit W.
Yes. Let me put this information in its proper perspective, I think in a more legal manner. The information, the contents of the document that has now been admitted as W can neither be admitted nor disputed or denied by the defense. Therefore, the state is put to the proof thereof. I think that sounds very accurate, man. Rather than to say we are neutral. We're not neutral. We can neither dispute it nor admit it. However, on the basis of the fact that we cannot admit it, the state is put to the proof thereof. Thank you. In other words, my daughter, just to assist the state, they just have to call a family relative of the deceased to come confirm the content of the statement. Thank you, let me proceed.
Not that they should go and exhume. I once exhumed a body, I think 1997.
Yes, madam.
I was in Mafikeng that time. The gentleman who died, apparently, allegedly, he had attended a Stockwell party
Yes.
on a farm where there was an entrance for blacks and an entrance for whites. And now this gentleman apparently, he refused to use the black entrance and said his money is the same as the money of all the whites were getting there. The owner of the business is a former police captain, Foster, assaulted him. Then after some time they tied him up, they pried him around a tree. They put a tire on the floor there, rotated it, and he died. And then they took his body to the police station to say he was attempting to break into their shop. There was a lady, black lady who was the station commander. He refused to take that body and said, take it to the hospital, maybe this guy is still alive. Then they took it and dumped it at the farm where he was employed. Then of course, there was a funeral. But when the family looked at the death certificate, this chap was tiny and slender. They gave a description of a fat, short guy. And Foster's defense was that the same defense. He doesn't admit nor deny that the guy who is buried there is Ratha. He puts the state to the proof thereof. Now this is about 3 years. What do you do? How do you prove it?
The state.
Yeah. Anyway, I as an officer of the court then,
Yes.
I issued an order that there must be this guy must be exhumed.
Yes.
And when he was exhumed, of course, he was decomposed, but you couldn't hide the fact that he was tall.
Yes.
And when you read the mortuary certificate of death, it spoke of a short guy.
Yes.
And after investigation, the state was able, I think, to prove that it's still the same guy. Even the uncles came and said, I said, on. So therefore, you must tell us how you're going to prove it, not now.
Okay, ma'am. No, I will. I'll take the challenge, madam.
Okay,
for
fine.
that. Yeah.
Yes, Mr.
Thank you very much, madam. That is basically to prove your doubt. The threshold that is expected for state in criminal proceedings. But nonetheless, thank you very much, madam. We'll be waiting for the outcome of that investigation with a view to prove what the court has already alluded to. Thank you, madam. Brigadier, just for the sake of completeness, in respect of accused number 3's narrative. Now, he requests me to put to you that he since he was born, he never had a dark complexion. He always had a light skin complexion as he is looking now.
I tried to switch his complexion to a dark-skinned accused number 3, but you know what? Continue listening on. You will hear what Brigadier Gininda has to say. But before we get into that, I find it absolutely ironic that while in South Africa, the Senzo Meyiwa trial was ongoing, and there's a conversation around light-skinned complexion versus dark-skinned complexion, and the people who are having this conversation are all black. I just think it's sad. It's sad that amongst black people we will argue if accused number 3 is light-skinned or not. Which leads me to over there in the America, Donald Trump said, you know what, we are done with this. Okay, we are done with this. We will forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based. Isn't that ironic that happened at the exact same time? It was round about this exact same time. While the Senzo Meyiwa case was ongoing, Donald Trump was declaring that, it's going to be a color-blind society. And in that case, of course, it's white against black. At least that's what I assume he's talking about. But in this courtroom, it's dark-skinned versus light-skinned. I never knew that there should be arguments about were you dark-skinned or were you light-skinned? Because is Gininda implying that accused number 3, since he arrived in prison, has been taking some skin lightening treatment. You can tell that he is naturally light. And I don't want to go into the merits of light-skinned naturally versus light-skinned chemically, but we are not there. Let's continue listening on. This is actually pretty depressing because it feels like black on black crime.
My lord, I will not be able to dispute how he looked like when he was born, because obviously I don't have direct knowledge or sight of that. However, what I can say is, insofar as the photos that we went through, and we did that exercise with Mnisi, and in those photos, in some of those photos, you can see that accused 3 is not bearing the same complexion that he has now. And I even narrated when I was referring to the complexion of dark brown that is contained in Steenkamp's affidavit, that it fits the description of his complexion then in 2014. And I did indicate, my lord, that yes, it is much lighter now. There's no mistake about it. But if you look at the photos of 2014, and I even said in some photos, his complexion is the same as the one of accused, I think 4 or even 5, if you look at them according to the pictures. So as to how he was born, my lord, I don't have direct knowledge. But how he looked like on the downloads that were found on his phone in 2014, he definitely didn't look like this. He was much darker, my lord.
Uyasho khona njalo ukuthi lokho ngeke aphike noma akuvumeke ngoba kade angekho ngesikhathi esebebeletha ke umsolwa wesithathu, futhi kepha ke uma ngabe ungabuka ke izithombe lezi bona ke kade ayibuke nake umfakazi kade ke ayibukile noma ayibuka nomnumzana ke Mnisi ethunywa ku Steenkamp la khona kade bonakala njengomuntu webala elimnyama ixesha wafana ke nomsolwa ngizongibona.
Brigadier, he was anticipating that answer, and to that he requested me to inform the court or to put it to you that with that explanation, regard should be always held to the quality of the photos from which the quality of the photos and the quality of the gadget from which those photos are downloaded.
My lord, I agree, but what I'm saying objectively, what he found, what I saw, and this is objective evidence that we can rely on, that's what I saw. Currently, his complexion, it's dark brown other than light. And in all those photos that we know that forensically were proven that were taken by the handset that he was using, none of them resembles him or shows him in a much lighter condition in 2014. And I'm referring to the period of 2014. He is bearing the same brownish dark complexion. And that is why I'm saying that brownish complexion fits the description that was given to Warrant Officer Steenkamp insofar as the gun toddler, Advocate Mnisi was using that name, the first suspect that was carrying a firearm. Contrary to what he looks like now he's much lighter, my lord, I agree, but that's not the same complexion you see in 2014.
In the famous words of Mnisi, Wemvula awukahle brigadier, awukahle. And here is a photo from 2014, around about there. Take a look at Kelly Khumalo. Take a look at Zandi Khumalo. Brigadier, please let us know what is their complexion, because this complexion here does not match their current complexion. You know what? Don't believe me? Let me insert what Kelly Khumalo looks like as of yesterday. You know, I'm not one to, air somebody's laundry, but you can see there's a stark difference between Kelly Khumalo 2014 and Kelly Khumalo 2025. Oh, if only I could argue this for Mnisi, because obviously she's using a face app, I think maybe Facetune, changing the complexion, adjusting it a little bit before posting, or she's using a filter. There's just so many options in 2025 that you can use, or some chemical enhancement products, allegedly. I don't know, but I know these two people, Kelly Khumalo and Kelly Khumalo 2014 and Kelly Khumalo 2025, they have the same features. They do not have the same complexion. Could it also be makeup enhancement? Yes. There are many things. So, awukahle brigadier, awukahle.
Now, he further requested me to put it to you that much to that against what Constable Zungu said, and some of the witnesses said in the house with regard to him having a golden insect in the upper, a golden insect on the upper part of his teeth, the jaw. He never had such.
My lord, I do not have medical records of that. What I know is what was displayed on the photos of an individual, which I said in my view resembles accused 3 with a gold teeth incision. That's what I can say, my lord.
As it is the court, my lord, may I quickly approach accused number 3? Thank you.
What this did was highlight the poor quality of Brigadier Gininda's investigation, including argument, because he's really saying accused number 3 used to be dark and then now he is light. I now understand why accused number 3 changed his hairstyle, because Gininda was going to tell us, possibly, maybe, allegedly, that no, then he had dreadlocks. So because he had dreadlocks, then he was darker in complexion. But because he doesn't have dreadlocks now, even saying it sounds ridiculous. I'm disappointed. I truly am. Because this is a state employee who doesn't just work in the Senzo trial. He works in several other trials with 30 years experience. Something in plain sight. He's going to deny. He's going to deny. Something that we can all see, that accused number 3 is light in complexion. And as accused number 3 says, he has always been since birth. Listen, a bombshell is coming. I'm going to drop it in the next video because they're still consulting over here. So I'm going to start a new video so that this one is not too long while we wait for them to come back from consulting their clients. But you already know. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I want to hear from you. Drop a 2 in the comment section if you were following the proceedings live, or if you were at work and then you have to catch up after. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on my next upload.